Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Claire Trainer.
And I'm Ann Bailey, and welcome to this week's edition of Monday Night Mashup.
Our lead story tonight, a shooting outside of Nashville, Tennessee, has taken place on Sunday during the 10 a.m. service. One woman was killed and 7 others were injured by shooter Emmanuel Kadega Sampson. It was later revealed during the day that he immigrated from Sudan 2 decades ago. It became known to the public that he walked into Burnett Chapel Church wearing a mask, believed to be dressed as a clown, brought 2 pistols, and opened fire just after 11 a.m. Police said he fired multiple rounds. Law enforcement caught him later Sunday afternoon. Sampson will be charged with murder and attempted murder. Churchgoers identified Sampson that he attended church a few years back, stating that they haven't seen him in quite a while. Police have stated that the woman shot and killed was walking to her car. Then Sampson entered the back of the church and shot 6 more people. All were rushed straight to the hospital. Mayor of Nashville, Megan Barry, stated that it is a terrible tragedy for our city. My heart aches for the family and friends of the deceased, as well as for the wounded victims and their loved ones.
In global news, United States territory Puerto Rico continues to be without power after Hurricane Maria hit the island. Restoring power could take a year, according to Jessica Rios Viner of Puerto Rican newspaper El Nuevo Dia. Many living in the territory are without electricity and subsequently communication. However, Puerto Ricans face another danger. An 88-year-old dam at Guadalajara has gained a foot of rain and is threatening to burst, potentially devastating the 70,000 people living geographically below it. Puerto Rico is already struggling from previous damages, lacking the infrastructure to rebuild and repair in the immediate future. The Federal Emergency Management Agency reports generators, water, and meals arriving to Puerto Rico in order to help. Puerto Ricans continue to evacuate and are bracing themselves for the bursting of the dam.
After the break, we will have Tierney Becker with weather, followed by Ben Parsons with sports.
Thanks, guys. Now for this week's weather. Up in New York, you'll see it'll be around 83s, down to Columbia, where it'll be around 86. Down here in Puerto Rico, we're going to have Hurricane Maria, which is going to come up on Monday to Tuesday into North Carolina, and you'll see some damages there as far as flooding and rain. In the West Coast, you'll see it'll be a lot cooler up higher, as Billings will be around 51 and down to Denver, which will be 49. This week, it'll be a scorcher. Starting out on Monday, it'll be 89, but then on Wednesday, it'll be a high of even 93. Then this weekend, it'll cool off and be around 70s. Now, after this break, we'll have Ben Parsons with sports.
The Gamecocks defeated Louisiana Tech on Saturday, 17-16. South Carolina trailed 13-0 heading into the 4th quarter, but that did not scare sophomore quarterback Jake Bentley as he led the Gamecocks to victory, throwing 1 touchdown and setting up his roommate, freshman kicker Parker White, to win the game with a 31-yard field goal. The 3-0 Gamecocks will head to Texas A&M this week as they begin a stretch of 6 straight SEC games. In other sporting news, the NFL is back in the headlines this week, but not because of an exciting week of action, but instead, the Colin Kaepernick movement has a new twist. After President Trump voiced that he felt players participating in the kneeling during the national anthem movement should be fired. The NFL responded on Sunday as multiple teams chose to stay in the locker room for the anthem, such as the Steelers, Titans, and Seahawks. Some teams decided to kneel together while others linked arms for the duration of the anthem. The movement that began with the issue of brutality has shifted towards racism as a whole. It is not certain whether these protests will continue next week, but what is certain is that a sport that used to provide an escape from political debate is now at the center of one. SGTV has paired up with Barstool USC. That's up next after the break.
Hi everyone, we're here with Pat from Hammered with Questions and Mike from Barstool. And Mike, it's great to have you guys. And Mike, can you explain a little bit about Barstool?
Yeah, I can. So Barstool is pretty much a multimedia conglomerate based in New York City. So pretty much they cover everything on everyday life, from sports to politics to news, everything you could think of.
Can you go a little bit more deeper about Barstool at USC?
Yeah, so Barstool USC is a social media account. We have Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. So pretty much what we do, we update students with daily student life, sports, news, everything that's going on. We keep everybody in touch, and people send us in content. We post it on there.
That's awesome. So Pat, how did you two pair up?
It's a funny story, actually. I sent him a video, like a hype video, kind of for the football team back, like, what was that, like probably early September, something
early
like that.
September, I think.
And he posted it, and then he said, "Oh, hey, you're that guy from Hammered with Questions, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And we just kind of talked, and he said, "I've seen the show before. I'm a fan. Like, I've always thought it'd be interesting to do to kind of team up and see what we can put together." So I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. So how many students do you have working for Barstool at USC, and what does the job consist of?
Yeah, so right now we have a team of about 8 people. It's 4 girls, 4 guys, including myself. Pretty much we have people who do journalism, so they write blogs on our blog site at WordPress. We also have content people, so people who work with me and Pat on Hammer with Questions. They make videos like the Gamecock Rundown, things like that. And then we also have editors, so people who edit everything behind the scenes, graphics and things like that. And then we also have a tailgate chairman, so pretty much he works with the tailgates at U of SC. So we work with the fraternities and sororities and have a nice partnership with them.
Can you guys explain why students love Barstool so much?
I think really it just, so like you have your normal news organizations, right? But then you have stuff like Barstool or Hammered with Questions that kind of give you an inside look into actual student life at South Carolina, whether that's just going out like tailgating, or it doesn't have to necessarily be partying. It just stuff kind of in general, funny stuff that goes on campus that people would be interested in, that makes people laugh, and why, like funny little quirky stories that are why we love college so much.
Yeah, I think we represent the student body really well, and pretty much just like the day-to-day, what you don't see, the extracurricular activities and everything like that, which is really nice because we also get to feature like club sports. So we do have a lot of partnerships with club sports. So a lot of the people know our football team and basketball team and all like that, and that's great. But I also like to give the opportunity to club sports like club baseball, volleyball, hockey. I let them take over Snapchat, and they do things with that. So shows students like an inside look at what a club sport is like versus a real sport. We've had basketball take over Snapchat, and football is going to take over Snapchat soon, hopefully.
One last question. What's to come between Barstool and SGTV?
Okay, well, a lot,
Big
hopefully.
things.
Right now, obviously, we're in partnership to work on Hammered with Questions. We're trying to do those videos kind of every single week, whether that's on Thursday nights out in 5 Points or Saturdays at some of the tailgates. You'll definitely see us around. And then also, we're doing this cool little segment we call it Gamecock Rundown, where essentially we just cover like the 6 or 7 kind of funniest videos or things that happen on campus in the past week, and we do like a kind of like a breakdown show. It's pretty interesting.
A weekly rundown of everything that people send in through the weekend and things that are happening on campus. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we do like fan polls and stuff too to try and get viewer opinions, I guess, shown on the show as well.
Get the students involved.
That's so awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, of
Thank you
course.
for having me.
Thank you for having
Thank
us,
you.
for sure.
All right, and that's all we have for this week's edition of Monday Night Mashup. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at SGTV News. For Monday Night Mashup, I'm Claire Trainer. We'll see you next week. Carolina, forever to thee.